All right, hello. In this webinar, we'll go through the recent platform update and perform a short masterclass where we will build an app, a simple service desk app. All right, let's sign in into the platform. You could see on the page what's new on the platform, the list of the recent updates, including features and bug fixes. We recently introduced the bug fix. The app is not blinking anymore. And let's go through the updates. First, there is a special feature for AI generation of the logo type. That's not actually the AI like large language models, but pretty simple and useful generator. We'll look at it. Next, you could change your application color scheme and set it up in a useful way. In an easy way, you'll see there is a preview of each and every component. So you could customize your color scheme. Next, the platform now supports all Google fonts. There are more than 1,500 fonts, and you could use all of them for your app. Next, the key thing in our update is improving menu configuration. We'll look at it closely. Next, you could turn on so-called lazy loading. That is a dynamic loading of the items in cards component and the table component. You see, you are scrolling and you don't need to push the next page button. The items are loaded dynamically. Also, we've introduced new languages, including Portuguese and Indian, Hindi. And the last but not the least, there is now an option to turn on new JavaScript engine for your scenarios. The default one is ECMAScript 5, ES5, and the new one is ES13. First and foremost, it's faster, almost 30 times faster. Plus, it includes a lot of useful features like arrow functions and Ladash 4.17. All right, let's go through the updates developing an app, a service desk app. Let's call it service desk demo app. All right. Next, I'll choose the blank app. That is the basic template. I'll pick the Pro trial. It allows me to use all the features. All right. Let's have a look at the template. Here we are, the basic template. There is a list what we need to do to configure that template, to configure the notification system and such features as password resetting. You see that the menu now is dynamic. You could make it narrow or wide. So that is the part of new update. All right, let's go through the tabs. You see that the web page section now contains tabs. Previously, those tabs were in the pop-up window. Now it's here. All right, web pages contains the list of your pages. Nothing new. Then general settings are also the same. The only thing that we've introduced new settings for the home pages. Previously, you needed to play with the weights and the page with the largest weight would be home. Now you are choosing the home page here. You are picking the home page for all the users and for authorized users. Let's choose the same one, home page. All right. Now menu. We'll skip it for now and we'll come back a bit later. Color scheme. There is a list of old color schemes like directional blue, denim mint, walnut, and some new. Let's play with it. Here is the scheme denim mint. And these are new ones. Rosa Corsa, contrast blue, contrast dark. Here it is. Blue one, peach fuzz. Actually, that is the color of the year presented by Pantone. And you see, if you click Customize Scheme, you'll see the preview of each and every component. So if I change the background color of the menu, it would be here on the preview. All right, but let me pick that one. I love this contrast dark. All right, perfect. Then we could choose the border radius and the font families separately for headers and for the main text. Let's choose something. We could turn on the filter and choose the style. Let it be display. All right, and I would fancy something like this for the headers. Angkor. All right, let's check it out. Perfect. It looks gorgeous. Next, icons. That is the same tab as it was previously. I'm picking here the icon, the favorite icon here for the browser. And if you use save to the home screen on iPhone or Android, that would be the icon of your app. All right, custom domain and custom code. Okay, let's figure out with that tab menu. First, I could pick if I want to have the menu on the side or on the top. All right, let's check it. Top, perfect. Let it be side. Menu size, it could be wide, compact, resizable. I could change the menu width, the margin, padding, etc. All right, it's on the side and it is resizable. Let's have a look at the most curious piece of functionality, the logo generator. I pick generate logo with AI. Here, I could change the size of the logo. All right, title. Let's call our app just Service Desk. I could click auto resize in the text. Then there is a list of all the Google fonts. Let us choose this one. All right. Resizing the text. Also could choose the sign, the icon. There is a list of 2,500 icons. I could search something with a keyword. I could click at the category, development, or the category cats. Let's pick the lovely cat. Say this one. All right, that looks cute. I could change the sign size, then the spacing. All right. I need to change the size of the text. Also could add some subtitle, my perfect app. All right. Setting it up. I could change the letter spacing this way. All right, also I have the black background, so I'll need the color white or at least light gray. Right, I could also change the color of the sign or choose the gradient, linear gradient or radial one. I would choose linear, something like that. Azure Lane. All right, saving and checking. Perfect, that looks really gorgeous. You see I have the small logotype, just the sign, and the large one with the text. All right, now let's dive into the app development. First and foremost, we need to configure the database. So as soon as we have a service desk app, we would need at least a data structure with tickets. So I'm creating here a folder, service desk app. And here in this folder, I'll add our tables. Tickets. All right. And another one, I would have a kind of a directory. So my tickets would have different statuses like new, in progress, and closed. And I would love to have those statuses in the separate table in the directory. So I would create the data structure statuses and configure it. Statuses, it would have ID and the field status type of string, and that field would be visible name. All right, save and exit, and let me add a few statuses. First would be new, status new. Next would be in progress. I could keep ID blank here. In this case, it would be random, but just it looks easier for me to use IDs like closed. Just it would be easier to work with those objects from scenarios. All right, and now let's configure tickets data structure. First, that would be ticket description. All right, I just got used to get the system names with small letters. Description, type of string, or it could be a markdown formatted text. Now, status. Also, I used to using or having the ID at the end of the system name of the field's type of link. It's just easier to work with it. It's a kind of a code style. Status, type of link to the structure status. All right. Now the manager, also a link. As soon as our managers are simple users of our app, that would be the link to the structure app users. That is the system data structure which contains the information about app users. All right, description, date opened, type of date, and date closed. Also type of date. All right, and the visible name would be description. Saving and go to the web app settings. I'm adding the new page, new ticket, new request, new ticket. These settings are legacy, so we don't need to set it up. All right, new request. as soon as I am going to make that page publicly visible, so I go to access and security, I'm overriding portal security settings and keep those toggles off. So that means that the page would be accessible for non-authorized users, because in the general settings we are turning on authentication. It means that by default the pages are not visible for non-authorized users, but we have overridden the access and security settings of the portal. All right, and now we go to the menu configuration and we add new item. That item would be new request. New request, that is a link to internal page, not external one. Icon. I could pick one of the directional set, 136 icons, or pick from the remix icon set. It contains more than 2000 icons. Let's use the keyword new. All right, I fancy this one. And also I'm setting up the color. It would be white. All right, it would be white. And when selected, it would be black. Let's test it out. All right, new request. Perfect. And I don't need that home page in the menu. So I go to the page settings, menu item settings, and deleting it from the menu. All right. Saving and checking. Perfect. Also, I would love to have that new request as a home page for non-authorized users. I go to general settings, home page for everybody, new request. All right. And here I would love to add a form for submitting the request. I go to web pages, new request. I would love to have the header here and the form. Each and every component which works with the data needs an API endpoint. So let's configure one. Create a new API endpoint, that is API section of the platform. All right, that API endpoint would work with the tickets data structure, new ticket, new ticket. And this would be easier to deal with all the endpoints if I add here something like public. And as soon as the API endpoint is public, I need to remove that condition. That condition means that the endpoint is accessible for authorized users only. ID of the user is not null. So I remove that condition and the endpoint would be public. Anybody from the internet could read and write to the database using that API endpoint. Then we are adding fields for reading, only ID, because at least one field should be added for reading, and post, fields for writing. I need only one field, description of the ticket. There could be more, like the priority or the author. Nevertheless, here for the simplicity, I'll keep one. And no filters, no sorting. All right, saving and exiting. And here I pick our freshly baked API endpoint, form description, submit request, maximum width, say 400 pixels, fields description, that would be a required field, and I'd love to add a description, describe your problem, and don't forget to introduce yourself. All right, and the result, I keep the resubmission function, resubmit, submit another request. Success will figure this out as soon as possible. All right, let's check it. New request, describe your problem, and don't forget to introduce yourself. I need new keyword. Call from the support team. All right, let's have a look at the data table, at the data structure. Service desk, tickets. Here we are. The object, status, blank, manager, blank, date, open, blank. And now I'm going to use scenarios. I would love to set status to new and date open to the current date for each and every new ticket, for each and every new request. So I go to the scenario section, create new scenario, process, new tickets, data structure tickets, and trigger new. It runs for each and every new object. All right. And here I would use only one step, edit object. I would save date opened to now. And don't forget to turn on JavaScript here, because otherwise it would be a simple string now. If I turn on the coding mode, that would be processed. I could turn on and turn off the coding mode using the hotkey Control J. All right, and I would love to edit another field, status set to new. Don't forget that the field type of link contains ID of the connected object, and we have the object with ID new, so that would be a link to the object with that ID. All right, save, publish, and run. If we want to throw the object to this scenario manually, we would copy the object ID and send it to debug. All right, let's check the logs. Everything goes well. Preview, date opened today, and status new. That is the link to the object from status's data structure. All right, perfect. All right, the first part is ready. So we could send the request, submit requests. Now I would love to develop the second part of an app. We would have two different roles. The first role, admin. Admin would assign different requests to the managers, and then manager would work on the request. So we would go to the data structure app users, system name web user, and add some. Let us add three. One would be admin and manager, and two managers. So username admin, roles admin, and let the admin be the manager as well. Admin, comma, manager. Password, say 1 to 3. I'm encrypting it, converting it to hash here. And first name, Pavel Yershov. It's me. All right, perfect. And let's add a couple more. Manager 1, row manager, password 1 to 3, first name John Wick. John. Yep. And another manager. Manager 2, roles manager, password 1 to 3, first name, I don't know, Stephen Hawking. All right. Now let's add the new page available only for admin. So I go to the web app, web pages, and create all requests, all tickets. It's the same. That would be the page where the admin would assign the tickets to the managers. All right, all requests. First and foremost, we would change the visibility settings, security accessible for authorized users only, and here we are specifying the role admin. It would be accessible only for admins. All right, go to the menu section. Let us add a group. Name it admin pages. All right, visible for users with the role admin. And we would have an item, all requests, all tickets, and place it to the admin pages folder, just dragging and dropping it. All right, let's choose the icon from the directional icon set, say list. All right, visible for admin, no label for now. A bit later, we'll check this point out. We'll figure out how to use the labels in the menu. All right, check nothing because we haven't signed in. Let's sign in, admin123. All right, now I see the requests and the group. If I want the group be fixed without hiding the content, I would go to the admin pages and hide group by default, hide groups content by default. Here it is hidden. Or I could pick this option, don't hide groups. So this way I can't hide the content of the group. All right. Here I would have a table with all the tickets, and I would be able to edit each and every ticket assigning to the manager. So let's go to the web pages, all requests. Let's show the page header, and here we are adding the table. All right, endpoint. So I need to create an endpoint for the admin. New endpoint, the tickets data structure, manage tickets, admin, manage tickets. Then security layer here, I need an additional condition to the role. Role is admin, but as soon as I could have a few roles, so equal doesn't fit here, so I would choose like. It will allow me to use a few roles for each and every user. All right, fields for reading, ID, description, status, and the nested object fields, manager ID, all right, ID, and first name, last name. Perfect. Date opened and date closed. And here I would love to change the manager ID. But as soon as I'm editing an object, I need to write ID as well. So that is an important thing. For editing an object, I'm choosing ID and the fields to edit available for writing. All right. Filter objects, no filters, no sorting, but we could sort by date opened, ascending. All right, save and exit. And here we would choose the API endpoint that manage tickets. ID is not displayed, description, status, manager, date opened and date closed. All right, we could add some filters. So filtering by date opened and the manager. We could add some options here, new, in progress, and closed. All right. Superb. Date opened. There is an option. There is a list of options here where it was opened. Status, new, in progress, no tickets in progress, because there is only one new. And manager. Here I could edit the manager. But you see the drop-down option is disabled and I need to enter object IDs. I don't know the ID of the manager, so I would add a drop-down option here. Let's go to the table settings, object, manager, and drop down in select while editing. So if I keep here API endpoint blank, I would see all the objects from the data structure, or at least 1000 objects if there is more than 1000. All right, checking again. Manager. All right, I see all of them. Perfect. Let's add another request. So I need some help. Submitting request, and I see that request here. Status new and date opened. All right. But assigning to a manager, I would love to filter them here in the list. So at least I would love to see only managers, and probably some managers could be busy. So let's do that. Let's add another parameter to the user is busy. So I go to the system data structure app users, configuring its fields, and here I add is busy. Busy. Type of Boolean. Boolean contains true, false, or blank, undefined. So if it's true, that means that the manager is busy. If it's false, it means that he's free. So let's type it free. We could add some icon, that one. Or busy with another icon, that one, red. All right, save and exit. And let's fill some of them. Admin would be busy, busy. And all the other managers would be free. Plus, there could be other users, not managers, just the regular users. So let's add it. User role, it could be blank, or say user, and password could be blank. All right. And let's see now. We see all the users, including user, here in the dropdown. I don't need them. But for the visibility, for admin, I would love first to see all the managers here below and see if they are busy or free. So let's go to web app, web pages, all requests, and add another table here. That table would contain the information about managers. So as usual, I need an endpoint. So that would be endpoint to app users data structure, get free managers, admin, get Free managers. All right, user-based security settings, role like admin, and fields for reading is busy and name. All right, nothing more. But here we need some filters. So I need to pull all the managers, all the users who has manager role. So role like manager. All right. Let's see here. Endpoint get free managers. Managers. Table. First name, last name, and business. All right. Checking. Those are managers and one is busy. So I see that there is a default icon here for true. I don't want it, so I go to the database app users, configuring fields, Boolean options, and here hide standard Boolean icons. All right. Again to all requests and resaving the table. Perfect. One manager is busy and two are free. So here I would love to filter them. Still, I'm having all four. So remember, I've told that here we need an endpoint. So we go to endpoint configuration, to the app users, free managers, select drop down. User-based security ID is not null, so it's not public. And get just name, first name, last name, and ID. All right, 3 fields and filters. First, is busy should not be equal to true. It could be blank or it could be false. Next, role should be like manager. All right, save and exit, and here we pick that new API endpoint manager, free managers. Save and check. Right here, I need a new keyboard. We assign it to John Wick, Stephen Hawking, only 2 managers who are free and who are actually managers. John Wick, and that one to John Wick as well. All right, perfect. So the second part of the development is completed. And next, I would love to create the manager part, the part where the manager could work on the tickets and see how many of them he has on his plate. All right, so I'm signed out here and sign in as a manager, manager 1, 1, 2, 3. All right, and I see that access denied, so I could not access all requests because I am a manager. I don't have the role admin. All right, basic template. That is the homepage for the authorized users. All right, go to the web pages and create new page. My tickets. My tickets should be available only for users with a manager role. And we would go to the menu here, add in an item, all requests, no, my requests. And this icon would be something like, I don't know, that one, action, visible for the user with the role manager. and no label for now, but we'll add a label a bit later. All right, my tickets. And a little step aside. So let's have a look how our app looks in the mobile. So here we are, new request, lovely. And let's have a look at the settings, mobile menu settings. So we click here and we could first show mobile header. All right, let's check it out. Perfect, mobile header is here. We could show auth block. The logo type could be small and in the center. All right, let's check it. All right, perfect. That's the auth block, my profile, then logo type, burger menu. And now there is another thing. I could switch the menu to tabs. So that is the regular thing for mobile apps. So I could have the tabs on the bottom, on the top. I would add 2 items to the tabs menu. That would be, say, profile with the icon home. All right, that one. White. And my tickets with icon that one. All right, let's have a look. Oh, perfect. Profile, tickets. I could change the size of the icon. Here's 24. Say I need 39. Okay, it's bigger. I could also change the text size, medium, large, different padding, margin, placement on the bottom, on the top. All right. Here I have the margin for the header. Let's remove it. Main menu, margin 0. All right. All right, perfect. So here are the options for the mobile view. Let's come back to our development. Here, I would use the component named Kanban. That would be a Kanban board for dealing with the tickets. So my tickets, show header, and here we pick the Kanban. As usual, we need a new endpoint that would provide us with all the tickets which are assigned to me. It means that we are creating the endpoint for tickets data structure, my tickets manager, my tickets. Security layer role like manager, then fields for reading ID, description, status, not manager, date open, date closed. All right. And writing, I would love to change the status. So I would love to change ID and status. So ID is required if I am editing an object. And the filter. Filter manager equals ID. If I use here a templating system, the fields would be from web user object, the user who is logged in here. All right, save and check here. API endpoint, my tickets. Oh, there is a small typo, my. Let it be May tickets, the tickets of the spring. All right, Kanban group statuses. But here in Kanban, I need a weight. So the weight is a field, is a value for sorting within a column. So I go to the database, service desk app tickets, and I have to add a field weight type of decimal. All right, I add that field to the endpoint, both for reading and writing, getting and posting. All right, web page, my tickets, here, Kanban weight, column width, enable drag and drop, and reset the list of columns, new, in progress, and closed. Then cards, I would love to have small p, it means paragraph. Header style, comment would be date closed. All right. And another thing, object, don't show the weight because it's a technical field. All right. Let's have a look. My tickets, new, in progress, closed. Perfect. It works. And now I would love to have a small feature that when the ticket is closed, the date closed is filled automatically. So let's go to the scenarios, new scenario, process, ticket, status change. All right, I work with data structure tickets, and the scenario triggers every time when the object is changed, when the status is changed. All right. And here we add the condition. If the status equals closed, we would fill the field date closed now. Also, we could use other JavaScript expressions like moment, but we need to transform it to ISO format. So moment to ISO string. If you want to test this step or just the expression, you need an ID of the object, and then you could click here, check expression, fill here the ID of the object, and check here the result. If I type here now, it would be the same. Or today. This case, it would be today in the midnight, or today minus 3 days. That would be January the 9th. All right, but now we need just now. And another branch, if the status is not closed, it's in progress or again new, we would keep the date closed blank. All right, publish and run. Let's test it. So I drag it. All right, it should have worked. Yes, it worked, but it hasn't refreshed. So to refresh it automatically, we need so-called Socket.io plugin. So we go to the marketplace, plugins, marketplace, Socket.io. That is the free plugin for refreshing your page from the scenarios. So we install the plugin. All right, it is installed. Go to scenarios, process tickets, and here we add Socket.io plugin, send push message. We send to all the users, so we type here asterisks and event name, something like refresh, any string, but we need to save the string, to copy the string, refresh. All right, publish and run. At the same time here, on the page that we need to refresh, we would add another component, refresher. So it appeared when we installed the plugin Socket.io. And here, event name should be the same as in the step refresh. All right, save. Now it should work. Refreshing the page. All right, perfect. The date appeared. Here, the date disappeared. It works correctly. And now let's figure out how to add here a label. So it's pretty easy. I go to web app, menu, my tickets, add a label. And here is the small tip. Enter the parameter name of the JSON in data custom labels. Custom labels is the field in the web user, and that is the field type of JSON. And we could pull some parameter from JSON to the menu. All right, let's have the parameters say counter. Okay. All right, counter. Go to database, app users. Now I am logged in as a manager 1. Let's find that field. Phone, email, custom labels. Here is it. If there is no custom labels field, say in the old app, you could add it manually. And here we are saving the JSON that counter, say 5. Okay, let's check. 5, perfect. There could be regular text here, something like hello. All right, hello. But here I would love to save the number of tickets in the status new automatically. So let's do that. I go to the scenario, process ticket status change, and here, before that group of steps, we would add a couple of more. First, I would love to count the number of tickets in the new status. So I go to storage settings, context variables, and add a parameter. Say count, type of number. That variable I would use in the step search. I search tickets, count them, save the result to the context variable count, search conditions, status equals new, and the manager equals manager. That is the value from the object that triggered this scenario. All right. And next I would edit my custom label field. And here I would demonstrate how to use new JavaScript ES13 engine. Here I'm turning on JavaScript manager. So I go to the link via a link to the fields of the linked object, custom labels. That is the JSON, the object. So I used the special construction from the JavaScript ES7 or 8, as far as I remember. So I added a certain field, a certain property of the JSON, keeping all the others. So that would be counter, and the counter would equal to our context variable that we have just calculated. All right. As soon as that expression is JavaScript object, but we need to save a JSON, we add here JSON stringy py with that parameter. And we save it to the manager's custom labels. Perfect. And then the page would be refreshed at the end. Publish and test. All right. Check 1. Check none. Check again. 1 and 2. Perfect. It works. So we have just created a simple service desk. You could add some charts if you fancy. So have a look. That is the example of our dashboard. We could have the admin dashboard where we could see the performance of all the managers, or also we could add some priorities and notifications via email or Telegram bot or any other messenger. So feel free to develop the complex and sophisticated app. So thank you for the attention.